I have the best billion-dollar app idea. I need to go to my computer now. Complete. Okay, as you can see, that Tiff or that person is not very realistic when it comes to how apps are built and also to how they are executed. A lot of times when we think we are going to have this amazing idea, the first thing that comes to mind is how much people we are going to help, how much money we are going to make, if we're being honest with ourselves, and it's just going to be this great thing. The reality is though, following those emotions come the emotions of almost getting frozen, meaning you don't know where to start. It is so overwhelming. How are you ever going to build this app? How is it going to be successful, scalable? You start thinking about all the resources you need. Today, we are going to cover what exactly it takes to build an app from idea to final product, to deploying it, and different tools that can help you along the way. To start with though, let's look at the timeline of what it consists of to really build an app from idea from beginning to end, and then go through each step. To start with, of course, is the idea. You have this great idea and it's kind of high level. The next thing you need to do is break it down step by step. Really think about your feature list. What are some of the features for your MVP you want to start with? Then comes market research. Who is your target audience? Why is this going to be useful for you? This is easier said than done and is something that you will need to spend a lot of time on. Once you have achieved both of those steps, which as I mentioned, sound easier than they actually are, but at the end of the day, they are crucial steps to getting started, it's time for the fun stuff, or in some cases, the most challenging stuff, which is choosing the right technology. I need some coffee for this next part. Because choosing the right technology, that is where it really gets tricky. And that's where I want to focus in on today. How do you find the right technology to work with? Better yet, maybe you are a developer just starting out in your career, or you're a developer that maybe you're even senior, but you don't want to spend all your free hours building this application. How can you achieve that? I started doing some research and wondering what would I do if I was to build an app all over again. And one of the platforms that I kept on coming back to, the SAP Learning site, has many learning journeys you can take. Courses you can take with different quizzes, but one that I really want to focus in on today is the Compose and Automate with SAP Build the No-Code way. And I know you might be thinking, Tiff, no code? What are you talking about? But honestly, if you look at the stats, which I'll put up on screen here, no code is continuing to grow so quickly in demand, and it's because it's able to scale and grow so quickly. You can come in with little to no coding experience and build these really super powerful applications. Okay, so I have up on screen here SAP Build, and I specifically want to go to Unit 2, which is creating a first application with SAP Build Apps. So let's open that up here, and you can see down below that this is a business scenario they give you. You're going to build an app that lets you scan the barcode on a food product, then it calls an API to get the calorie content and displays the product name and calorie count. So you can see if we scroll down, exercise options, and then also to what the prereqs are. And honestly, I just want to pause here. It's kind of wild to think how quickly you can build these applications with going through courses like this that really bring your idea to application. And we right now are speaking about creating your first app, so it's pretty simple in the ideation stage or the building stage, but also too, they have courses for process automation and deployment as well. So you literally take your idea, your app from idea to deploying it, which is wild. There is no excuse anymore. If you have a billion-dollar idea or something that's gonna help millions of people, even one person, now is the time. So as you can see here though, after you are done creating your app, there's always a quiz at the end, which I am a huge quiz person. I love it because it really reinforces what you are learning. So this is a great way when you are going through this course to understand if you need to go back and redo maybe the lesson or if you're ready to carry on. Also too, I'll share with you a little tip that I like to do when building really anything is I always take the tutorial, read the documentation, whatever the case is, because what that does is, yes, of course, it teaches you how to use the tool and build faster, but also too, what it typically does is a lot of the logic that you are learning when it comes to building this application, even if it comes to a low-code application, you can then transfer into your own app. So for example, in the use case of the barcode, maybe this sparks something in you that you want to implement a barcode scanner in your application as well. That's just a little tip. It's kind of cheating the, is it cheating the system? No. I think it's just being a quick learner. Anyways, I just mentioned as well about automation. And what really is automation? What does that even mean? And why is it important in the idea to final product for the app? When you are building, you want to ensure you can automate as many processes as possible, because at the end of the day, if you can save time where you are building and thinking and have processes automated for you, it's going to save you a lot of money as well. So let's go here as you can see some examples. Automate manual, repetitive tasks such as copying, pasting data into a spreadsheet. Another one being digitalize manual and semi-automated processes such as capital expenditure. And then you can see on screen here, we're actually going to go through an example of automating a process with SAP Build Automation. So they give you the scenario, you will complete the first steps to create the process and trigger a form for the process using drag and drop functionality. So you can do it in a live environment or platform simulation. All right, so we have kind of checked off a lot on our list. We have started from idea, went to doing some user research, some target market research. Then we started actually working on building the app. We're using SAP Learning to really go through the process before we go through building our own app, but actually understanding what steps to take by following the course and documentation. This is just my personal hot take that as I was actually just editing this video, I decided to hop back on camera here and share with you, because I feel like I wouldn't be doing this video justice if I didn't at least acknowledge or speak about money. And why I think it's so important to do that is because when you are building an app, oftentimes the thought that comes to mind is, well, how am I going to make money from this application? Even if the pure intention is to help individuals, if you are going to be continuing building this app, and where is the money coming from? Who is funding it? And I want to share my thoughts around how to make money with your application. Where does the money come from? And this might be contrary to popular belief, popular to what experts are telling you, but here's my biggest advice that I have found through being a content creator and through working on a startup behind the scenes, which is more to come soon on that, and many other things. The reality is, don't worry about it. Wait, what, Tiff? That sounds so silly. You just said that's so important. What do you mean don't worry about it? The money will follow. Give value to people, create a very valuable product that people will find useful, entertaining, educational, whatever that pillar is. Don't focus on, well, I need to add this feature in because that is how I will generate money. Don't worry about that. At the end of the day, if you are making an application, a website, a service that has value, once again, whatever value that looks like, it doesn't mean it has to be educational. It could also be entertaining or a mixture of both. But if you are making something that has value to people, is helping people, and they are utilizing it, the money will follow, whether it be through advertisements on the bottom of your application, whether it be through partnering up with other companies for collaboration services, whatever the case is. I think some of the greatest apps, though, have really started, or greatest ideas have really started out of passion, not being afraid to take that risk, and then also to just focusing on your end user and how you can provide value versus building a product on how it will generate money. Now, once again, this is just my 2 cents on it. I think it's really important to note because too often we are even subconsciously driven by, if this succeeds, it needs to make so much money, and how will that happen? Focus on today. Focus on getting your app on the App Store. Focus on getting your service focus on getting your service online, whatever the case is. The money will follow, and just focus on one step, one foot in front of the other. Otherwise, you are going to look too far ahead and in turn, honestly, probably get nothing done. All right, by this point, we have done a lot from ideation to actually building the app. What comes next? Well, of course, you need to decide where you're going to put this app. Are you going to put it on iTunes? Are you going to put it on Google Play? And of course, that comes into play how the app was built, which we spoke about earlier. But also too, it's really important to note, how are you going to market this app? You might have the greatest idea ever to exist, but if it's not marketed in the right way, that's another challenge. For me, I'm not a marketing expert by any means. I always rely on the experts to do their job. So at this point, what I would do, if you are more developer focused or technical focused or big idea picture focused even, I would say, reach out to a friend who's a marketer, go on Upwork, go on one of these freelancing sites, find someone who you really trust or build that relationship with to help market your product, because you have to let the ego go. No matter how amazing your product is, if it's not marketed right, there's a very low chance that it will succeed. All right, as you know, I have collaborated with SAP on a few other things in the past, and I always get really excited about collaborating and sharing different tools or courses with you that they produce. And one of the main reasons is because SAP courses or having SAP on your resume as a whole in any format is going to help you stand out to future employers, to business partners, to anything like that. It is such a great way to really stand out from the crowd, and I think one of the biggest things that we talk about a lot on here is how to stay ahead of technology, how to stay ahead of the curve, and this is a great way to do it. So I really hope you enjoyed going through this with me, going through a little bit of the SAP Learning Journey, specifically the SAP Build Journey, and I'm linking it down below, so make sure to go check it out. All right, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it very helpful, but also too inspirational. Go take this course, go start really understanding how to build applications from ideation to deployment to fully getting people to use it and beyond. And on that note, I'm really curious, have you built an app on your own before? Have you tried one of these tools before, such as a low-code solution? Let me know down in the comments. All right, thank you all. Make sure to hit that subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, everyone.